Welcome to Investing in Comic Books. I'm Terry Hoknes. As always, on our video series, we are going to take a look at one specific book, and we're going to look at the pros and cons of investing in this book to tell you whether it is a good choice or not. And today we are focusing on The Incredible Hulk number 4. Came out from Marvel Comics in 1962, November 1962 to be specific. This book came out just a few months after the first appearance of Spider-Man. This is a very early Marvel superhero book, the fourth appearance of The Incredible Hulk. And it's brought to us by the classic team of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, who created all the original Marvel heroes of the Silver Age. There's a Rick Jones appearance in this book, and there's a retelling of the Hulk's origin in this issue. Classic issue. Let's look at some things about this book. First of all, how about the values in the Overstreet Price guide? If we look at the values over the last 7 years, we'll see that in all conditions, it's been going up in value. So the highest price will dictate how much influence there is on the low grade, and because the top price, 9.2 grade, has in fact almost doubled in the last 7 years. That's quite a significant climb, and that has affected that even the lowest grades have gone up a little bit. So that's a good sign for this book already. Of course, demand for all 6 issues of this series are always there, very strong. This is not considered one of the main key issues of the series, but nevertheless, it's just as scarce as the others. Let's look at how many copies Heritage has sold in the last decade. Approximately 40 copies, and they happen to have sold a 9.4 back in 2004, and at that time, that was about 3 times guide. And more recently, you see that they sold a 9.2 in 2006, and at that time, that was about $1,000 above guide. So these aren't crazy high prices, but still strong demand, selling for over guide. And we probably will see that in all conditions, even if you check eBay, because the price guide itself is going up. However, if you look really closely, you'll see in 2012 that all copies graded 8 or less actually had a small drop. And the reason for that is because the top grade had just a small growth, $100, not bad, but that wasn't enough for the low grades to keep their value, as market correction over the years has been making a larger spread between the low and the high grade books. This has been going on for decades, and I'm not sure if I should say it's getting worse, but if you've invested in low grade comics, you're going to find that times could get tough, whereas the high grade copies keep going up, the low grades could keep going down for a while. Let's look at the CGC census for copies that have been graded. This is quite a scarce book, especially in high grade. There have been no 9.8 copies graded as of the census that I pulled here. Only 1 copy graded 9.6. It's never been sold on Heritage, so I don't know what it has sold for. There's been only 5 9.4s. We saw Heritage has sold 1 of them, and still only 4 9.2s. So in total, above 9.0, there are only 10 near-mint copies graded by the CGC in the entire world. For such a high-demand book, such an early appearance of the Hulk, that is a very scarce book. Demand will stay high for that. I can guarantee you this book is going to keep going up in value in those high grades. And anything, of course, above a 9.2 is going to set record high prices in the future. Typically, you'll see that most copies graded by CGC are in the mid-grade. That's where most copies are going to turn up. If not, low grade should be the most common books. Of course, it doesn't pay to really get low-grade books graded, but there are a few on the census as well. So in total, 323 copies on this census we're looking at, but only 10 graded 9.2 or higher. So, summing up, what do we see here? Good points. It's a scarce book. It's an early appearance by one of the most important superheroes ever created. It's from early Marvel Silver Age era, one of the first Silver Age superhero books, in fact, put out by Marvel. The census overall, there's not a lot of copies out there for the demand. In all grades, the book has generally gone up. There's been some resistance in the lower grades just in the past year. That will probably correct itself as soon as the higher grades have some more movement. There was a big spurt in 2010 when all the Silver Age books had a big jump after a stall the year before during depression in the United States. So the market's kind of back on track, but the high grade copy only went up $100. So if it only does that every year, we're not going to see any growth at all in the lower grades. So watch for that. That's going to be the main thing that depends if this is a really good investment book or not. So what's my final personal say on this book? Well, high grade, I'm going to say you can't go wrong. 9.2 or higher, the demand is there. There's just not enough copies. You can't go wrong selling that because the guide generally does go up in value. I would even say that, yes, long term, you know, over 5 years or more, any condition is going to be good. If you're trying to flip this book in a year or so, no, I don't think you're going to really see enough movement to make that worth your time. So that's a quick summary of this book, Incredible Hulk number 4. If you'd like to know more about any other golden, silver, or bronze age book, we do put out a series of books called Investing in Comic Books, and we have studied thousands of books. And if you'd like to get all these details for any of your favorite books, or if you'd like us to focus on one particular book for this specific show, please contact me at hawknes@hotmail.com, or check out our series of books at hawknescomics.com. Thanks for watching.